Picture a $100 million skyscraper project for a second. You visualize the cranes, the, massive steel I-beams swinging through the air.
Concrete trucks literally everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. The endless convoy of concrete trucks. But if you actually spend time on a major project site, what do you think is the heaviest thing there?
Well, I mean, most people would say the steel.
Right, but it's not the steel, it's not the concrete, it's the paper. Because before a single shovel hits the dirt and, long after the last hard hat leaves the site, construction is just an industry built on endless mountains of contracts.
Contract specifications, daily reports, notices, it just never ends.
It really doesn't. And that brings us to today's deep dive. We're welcoming you to a really exciting breakdown today. We are looking at a highly practical framework from a module titled The Four Essential AI Use Case Categories in Construction.
Yeah, and the physical building is really just the final physical manifestation of thousands upon thousands of documents. Managing that overwhelming information load is often the heaviest lifting anyone on the project team actually does.
Oh, absolutely.
It's basically the silent bottleneck of the entire industry.
Which is why the source material hits you right out of the gate with this incredibly compelling tagline. It says, 4 categories, dozens of use cases, endless leverage.
I love that word, leverage.
Right. So our mission today is to take that tagline and map out exactly how you, the listener, can use these 4 categories as a personalized reference sheet, basically, to reclaim massive amounts of time in your daily workflow.
And that concept of leverage is, it's just the perfect place to start. Because when the conversation turns to AI in construction, people immediately drift into this defensive posture, like about replacement.
Yeah, the whole robots are taking our jobs thing.
Exactly. But what we are really dissecting today is achieving maximum leverage. This framework isn't about an AI replacing you. It's about, well, giving you the processing capacity of a 10-person administrative team.
Wow, 10 people.
Yeah. The goal is to clear the administrative brush so you can actually focus on the high-value, nuanced commercial strategy that, actually gets the project built profitably.
I love that reframing, because before you can draft a back charge or even argue a claim with a subcontractor, you have to actually read the contract.
You have to know what's in there.
Right. So the most logical starting place for gaining this leverage is consuming information.
Okay, let's unpack this. Category 1 is what our source calls document intelligence.
Which is a great term for it.
It really is. I like to think of this as having a tireless speed reader or like an incredibly fast paralegal sitting right next to you whose only job is to dig for a needle in a haystack.
I'd actually push that analogy one step further, I think.
Yeah, because it is a paralegal, yes. But when you're using AI for document intelligence, it isn't just doing a simple, Control-F keyword search.
Right, it's not just matching text.
Exactly. It's more like a heat-seeking missile tracking the actual meaning of the text. Document intelligence covers tasks where the AI reads, understands, and extracts specific information from these massive, dense documents based on semantic context.
Which makes a massive difference. I mean, we've all been there, right? It's 9 p.m. on a Thursday, your eyes are burning, and you are trying to cross-reference a new subcontract against the head contract.
Just praying you don't miss how a specific risk is flowing down.
Yes. It's soul-crushing work sometimes. And the text mentions extracting pricing impacting requirements from a towering stack of tender documents, or comparing subcontract clauses.
What's fascinating here is the sheer scale of the efficiency we were talking about. The source notes a typical time savings of 70 to 85% for these extraction tasks.
Wait, 85%?
Yeah. Imagine you are trying to identify every single variation event buried in 6 solid months of daily site reports.
Oh, man. That would take days.
Right. Because a human has to read every page, parse the handwriting or the typed text, and recognize that a described delay actually constitutes a variation. The AI can process those hundreds of pages in moments.
And it recognizes the concept of a delay even if the specific word variation was never even used by the site supervisor.
Exactly. It understands the context.
That is wild. The source gives some other painfully relatable use cases too, like going through a 150-page inspection and test plan, your typical ITP, and pulling out every single hold point and witness point so you can actually schedule the work.
Which is so critical for the schedule. The AI just finds them and surfaces them. It's also incredibly powerful for cross-referencing different specification sections to find conflicts before they become, really expensive rework on site.
That's huge.
It is. The core principle for you to remember here is this. The AI reads thousands of pages, so you don't have to. You just review what it surfaces.
So you're shifting your own role from an exhausted information gatherer to a sharp-eyed information reviewer.
Precisely.
Okay, I hear that, but I have to push back a little here.
Sure.
Because my mind immediately goes to the commercial stakes involved. Does this mean we completely trust the AI's reading comprehension blindly on, like, a $50 million contract?
Absolutely not.
Because if it misses a conflict in the spec or, I don't know, hallucinates a hold point in the ITP, we are the ones paying for that mistake.
You do not trust it blindly under any circumstances.
Yeah.
That is exactly why the guiding principle is you review what it surfaces.
Okay. Phew.
Yeah. The AI is a tool for extraction, not for final commercial validation. Think of it this way. The AI highlights the 5 clauses in a 500-page contract that govern, say, wet weather delays.
Right.
You still use your hard-earned professional expertise to read those 5 specific clauses and make the commercial decision. You've just saved the 4 hours of page turning it would have taken to locate them in the first place.
Ah, I see. You're skipping the hunt, but you're still making the kill.
That's a great way to put it.
That makes perfect sense. So once the AI has successfully extracted these raw facts from the mountains of documents, the very next logical step is doing something with those facts.
Exactly, which usually means creating standard documentation.
Right. And that brings us to category 2, document production. If the first category was a paralegal, I see this category as having a dedicated ghostwriter.
But a ghostwriter who desperately needs an editor.
Huh. Yes, exactly. A ghostwriter who has memorized every single project file, but has absolutely zero common sense.
That is why document production is so powerful, but also, so reliant on human oversight. This category covers the drafting phase.
Okay.
If a document follows a standard structure like notices, claims, reports, minutes, or registers, it's a prime candidate for AI generation. You feed it the raw inputs, and it drafts, formats, and generates the professional docs.
Let's look at the mechanics of this, because the use cases here are literally the bread and butter of project management. We're talking about drafting extension of time or EOT notices.
Oh, yeah, the classic EOT.
Usually you take the raw data from a notice of delay, the NOD, and you spend, an hour massaging it into formal contractual language?
At least an hour.
Here, you just feed the raw NOD facts to the AI, and it writes the formal EOT narrative for you.
And it works the exact same way for writing up backcharge letters based on, raw site observations.
Oh, that's incredibly useful.
Or taking the raw, rambling transcript data from a tool like Fireflies during a 2-hour coordination meeting.
Which are always a mess.
Total mess. And having the AI instantly generate formal, structured meeting minutes with clear action items.
That alone saves so much headache. The text also mentions creating progress reports just by feeding the AI your schedule data.
Yeah.
Or making variation registers directly from those daily reports we talked about earlier.
Yep. Even drafting nonconformance reports, NCRs, straight from bullet point inspection notes.
And my personal favorite, honestly, writing out detailed subcontractor scope sections. You just give it the parameters and it bakes the cake.
The efficiency here is staggering, really. We're looking at an estimated 60 to 80% time savings.
That's massive.
But the workflow mechanism is what truly matters here. The guiding rule for the listener for Category 2 is AI drafts, you verify, not the other way around.
Wait, what do you mean by the other way around?
Well, too many people try to write the EOT notice themselves from scratch and then ask the AI to proofread it.
Oh, I see.
It has a total waste of leverage. You want to spend 2 minutes giving the AI the raw delay facts. Let it generate the full draft instantly to get you like 80% of the way there, and then spend your valuable time refining, tweaking, and verifying the final product.
So you are never staring at a blank page again.
Exactly.
That alone is a massive mental relief. Now, while drafting standard reports is fantastic, it's funny, we spend so much time talking about drafting perfect prose, but anyone on site knows that 80% of construction data isn't prose at all.
No, it's just pure, messy chaos.
Right, which forces us to ask, how do we move from organizing chaotic site inputs to perfectly structured outputs? Here's where it gets really interesting, because we are moving into Category 3, data transformation.
And this category is often the hidden bottleneck on construction projects.
How so?
Well, data transformation is exactly what it sounds like. It's converting information from one structure or format into another. It's taking the unstructured and making it structured, or taking raw output from one software system and translating it so it can be read by another.
The examples the source gives for this are just so universally painful, like converting a superintendent's quick handwritten site observations into neatly structured NCR database fields.
Or automatically classifying a massive stack of messy invoices to their correct internal cost codes.
Oh, the invoices, just hours of data entry.
Exactly. Or consider transforming raw export data from P6, which is, the industry standard Primavera scheduling software,
Right, which looks like a giant wall of text.
into a clean, readable Excel dashboard format for the client. Historically, a project engineer would sit there for hours, manually hunting for rows and columns, copying and pasting just to make it look presentable.
I've been that engineer. It's awful.
Right. But the AI doesn't do that. It recognizes the underlying semantic relationship between a start date in P6 and how that specific data point needs to be represented in an Excel cell.
So it's basically doing the mapping for you.
Exactly.
The text also mentions extracting exact material quantities from dense specification text, or converting rambling voice-to-text site notes recorded on a phone, which I do all the time, into formal, structured daily report formats.
Yep. Even reformatting a pile of disparate subcontractor timesheets into a standardized payroll template.
That's brilliant.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it becomes entirely clear why this specific category boasts the absolute highest time savings in the entire module.
Higher than the 85% we talked about.
Oh yeah, we are talking 80 to 95% of your time saved.
90%.
Yeah, and the reason for that massive leap is the nature of the work itself. Format conversion is inherently formulaic. It is highly repetitive. It requires almost zero human judgment.
It is simply tedious data entry and mapping.
Exactly, and AI absolutely excels at tedious logic puzzles. The AI handles the entire conversion process from format A to format B, and you simply spot check the output to ensure the data integrity held up.
It's like having a universal translator for all the different incompatible ways a project generates data.
That's a perfect analogy.
Okay, so we've gathered the intel, we've drafted the standard internal reports, and we've wrangled the messy site data into spreadsheets. But eventually, you can't just hide behind the spreadsheets.
Unfortunately not.
You have to engage with the human element. You have to talk to clients, principals, and superintendents. This moves us from internal organization to high-stakes external strategy. And that is category 4, communication drafting.
This represents a major shift in the risk profile of what we are doing. Category 4 covers all professional correspondence. We are talking about the emails, the formal letters, and the notices that carry significant commercial, relational, or legal weight.
These are the exact tasks that keep project managers awake at night, like drafting a formal response to a principal's unfavorable instruction.
Or writing a subcontractor performance notice when a critical trade is going completely off the rails.
Right. Or carefully wording a client delay update email where getting the tone even slightly wrong could, poison the well for the rest of the project.
It covers formally objecting to a superintendent's determination, requesting extensions of payment terms, or drafting the initial delicate stages of a dispute escalation letter.
Which means the AI is now playing with live ammo.
Yes, and this raises an important question about accountability.
Right.
Because in these high-stakes scenarios, the AI is brilliant at instantly producing the formal structure and the professional objective language. It removes the emotion from your draft.
Which is helpful when you're fuming at a subcontractor.
Exactly. But, and this is a massive caveat, the AI's output is only a starting point. The AI does not know the nuanced 5-year history of your firm's relationship with that specific client.
Oh, that's such a good point.
It doesn't know the overarching commercial strategy your regional manager has in mind.
Right. The AI can make a dispute letter sound perfectly polite and legally sound, but it doesn't know if you actually want to play hardball or if you're deliberately trying to smooth things over to win the next phase of the job.
Exactly. You, the human, must supply the commercial strategy. You have to take the AI's solid baseline draft and adjust the position, tweak the tone, and verify every single fact.
So what's the time saving here?
It's still roughly 50 to 70%. Because the AI removes the intense friction of trying to find the right professional words, it gives you the vocabulary, so you aren't staring at a blinking cursor.
Got it. But the ultimate responsibility for the message, the wisdom of when and how to send it, rests entirely on your shoulders.
100%.
The AI provides the prose, you provide the posture.
I like that.
So we've walked through the 4 categories: document intelligence to read, document production to draft, data transformation to organize, and communication drafting to strategize.
That's the framework.
Knowing this theory is fantastic, but Theory doesn't clear an overflowing inbox on a Tuesday morning. So what does this all mean for the listener? Like, how do we actually operationalize this day to day to get that endless leverage we promised?
Well, that brings us to the final and arguably most important concept in the source material: building your personal prompt library.
Okay, tell me more about that.
The secret of the most highly productive AI users in construction isn't that they are constantly writing brilliant, spontaneous new prompts from scratch every single day.
Right, nobody has time for that.
Exactly. It's that they systematically build and maintain a personal library of their highest value prompts.
Ah, the text outlines this 30-day active use method, which I think is a brilliant way to build the habit. It essentially says that for every new use case you try out, say, you finally get the AI to perfectly format your weekly progress report. You save and label the exact prompt you use to get there.
Yep. Over the course of 30 days of active use, you will slowly build up a personalized AI toolkit that is meticulously tailored to your exact role, your specific project requirements, and even your company's formatting quirks.
So you'll have your ultimate contract review prompt, your perfect EOT template prompt, your flawless variation register prompt, and your go-to meeting minutes prompt.
Exactly. The source calls these contractor OS skills.
I love that phrasing, contractor OS. It frames your saved prompts not as neat little party tricks, but as actual productionized skills that you now possess.
And because they are saved and locked in, you never have to waste time re-engineering the instructions. You just pull the prompt off the shelf, drop in today's messy data, and execute.
It's basically an operating system for your job.
It really is. The final piece of that operational puzzle, though, is maintenance. You need to review and refine that prompt library on a monthly basis.
Oh, because the models change.
Because the models inevitably improve, yes. And also, as you just get better at interacting with the AI, your prompts should evolve. But that foundational library ultimately becomes one of the most powerful, time-saving assets you have in your professional toolkit.
Okay, we have covered a massive amount of ground today. Let's wrap this up with the absolute core takeaways that you need to walk away with from this deep dive.
Sounds good.
Number 1, document intelligence means the AI acts as a semantic heat-seeking missile, reading thousands of pages of contracts and specs so you don't have to. You simply review what it surfaces.
Crucial point.
Number 2, data transformation is where you get the biggest time savings. The AI handles the tedious logic puzzles of converting messy site data into structured formats while you just spot check the results.
Yep, the 95% time saver.
And number 3, knowing what the AI can do doesn't matter if you don't build it into a system. You must build, save, and monthly review your personal AI toolkit, your prompts library.
Those are the operational pillars for sure. And if you are sitting there looking for the next logical step after mastering these 4 categories, the source material actually teases the next module.
Oh, right. The 5 questions.
Yeah, it covers the 5 questions before you implement an AI workflow. That is exactly where you should focus next, to ensure you are applying these 4 categories securely and effectively in your specific company environment.
It's a perfect roadmap for getting out from under the administrative avalanche. But before we sign off, there is a lingering thought here that really struck me, building off everything we've unpacked today about leverage.
It's the ultimate question of value, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you project this trajectory out a few years,
Yeah.
well, if AI is eventually reading the dense contracts, drafting all the routine notices, and transforming the messy data for absolutely everyone in the construction industry,
Which it will be.
right, what becomes the ultimate competitive advantage? It won't be who types the fastest. It won't be who organizes P6 data into an Excel spreadsheet the best.
No, those skills will be baseline commodities.
Exactly. The true competitive advantage will be who possesses the sharpest human judgment, the deepest relationship-building skills with clients and trades, and the most nuanced commercial strategy.
Which brings us right back to where we started. We said construction is an industry made of paper. But if the AI is handling the paper, are you using the time it saves you to cultivate the skills that the AI fundamentally cannot replicate?
That's the real question.
Are you stepping away from the documents to actually go build the project? Something to think about next time you're staring at a towering stack of tender documents.